A beautiful rendition of our nation's anthem as we greet you inside the press box at University City High School for Friday Night Lights. High school football is in full swing, and we are proud to bring it for you live right here on the University City stream. They host Southwest El Centro in a battle here in central San Diego. University City at 2-0 on the season, coming off of convincing wins against Fallbrook 48-7 and Del Norte 55-44. Welcome inside the press box, everybody. I am Jonathan Rifkind, delighted to be with you. It is going to be quite an evening. The band is in full force. The fans have shown out, and these two teams are ready to rock and roll on the gridiron here tonight as the sun begins to set over the Pacific Ocean. Let's get to the lineups. Here for University City, of course, at the helm will be Samuel Cooper IV, the star quarterback. He's having a great debut season in the blue and white. 24 completions on 34 attempts in the first two games. 464 passing yards and 5 touchdowns on the other side for El Centro. They'll be led by the head coach's son, Coach Dan Junger's son, Logan Jungers, the sophomore, 13 for 21 on the season, $182 on the yardage. And we are ready to go. 12 minutes on the clock, quarter number one. The fans are on their feet here in University City. You see in their home blacks, white numbers on the front and back, baby blue helmets. And on the other side, the road whites for Southwest El Centro, the team 1-1 on the season. UC starts with an onside kick, and a flag is thrown. Was it touching inside the 10-yard line? I love the aggressive call right here by the offensive staff for UC rather. Head coach Paul Lawrence in his first season with a new staff from Mira Mesa. He was an assistant a season ago, and then in the previous seasons he was an assistant at Point Loma and led the Pointers to some phenomenal success as we await the call here. Already controversy surrounding the opening kickoff. Southwest El Centro, the Eagles, under Dan Jungers in his third season, 1-1 on the season. They opened with a 36-29 loss to Holtville. Last week, they eked out a 28-27 win at Vincent Memorial. It looks like the Southwest El Centro offense out there. I see the looming number 10 in Logan Jungers. The Eagles playing Division IV out of the Imperial Valley League. You see in the City League, a very good City League. I don't know if I need to lay the framework too much for you, as if you are an avid San Diego high school football fan, you know the names, the heavy hitters in the City League, but with new faces on the offense, and we will see the ball moved back, rather up if you're an Eagle, to the 46-yard line, and that's where this football game will begin. So happy to have you on a beautiful Friday evening. Game number 3 of the season. Crazy that we are in full swing. And somehow, so far, so good. All right, ready to go. Jungers in the shotgun. He has 4 spread out on both sides, running back in the backfield. It's a play action. 3-step drop out over the seam. It's incomplete. A pass interference is called. That pass did not look catchable to me, though, folks, so I'm not sure as we attempt to capture a replay for you. Now we'll get replay going here in just a moment. And with the yellow laundry, that'll move it up some extra yardage. University City opened up at Fallbrook back on the 20th of August. We had the pleasure of calling that one a 48-7 bout up in the northernmost section school. Then last week they hosted Del Norte. They got their first win in quite some time in the black uniforms, as we apologize for the camera malfunction. And a sack, though, by the hefty front 7. Jugers gets dropped for a big loss on the play. UC brought the house. It paid off, and the big boys up front getting the job done, led by none other than star tight end, the 6'4 junior Caden Dawson. And immediately the University City student section dressed up in variations of colors on their feet. On the far side, some purple and gold sprinkled out throughout the visiting stands. Jungers in the shotgun, trips to the strong side. Drop coming, pressure coming, has to get rid of it, and it's intercepted. Give it to Aiden Lockett. Let's look at that again. A beautiful catch up the middle. Jungers was in trouble. And the senior, standing tall at 6'2", Aiden Lockett, picks him off inside or towards that line of scrimmage. And I guess if you didn't get the onside kick, an interception will definitely do. And immediately, University comes out in a 5-wide set. Sam Cooper IV, the Lincoln transfer, manning the helm. Has a receiver in motion. And now they'll isolate Dawson to the left side. Dawson breaks away. Nobody's going to touch him. Caden Dawson, 49-yard touchdown, UC. Nobody's going to touch him. And you hear the UC fight song being played. And special teams will take the helm. One play, 49 yards. And not even a minute in, 11:03 is where the clock stops. And on special teams, perhaps taking a tad too long, Elizabeth Dempsey out there to boot it through. And we are awaiting the official call down on the field. So the penalty will move the ball back and a chance to continue honing the kicking skills here for Elizabeth Dempsey, the senior. Holding. And I guess you can get the yards back here if you're the Centurions. A jump on the defense, I would assume. It looked like Seneca Haynes, the senior defensive end, playing special teams. And there it is. A lot of time for an extra point. I wonder if this is a strategy to ice the kicker if you're the defense. Making her wait so long to just get the opportunity here. There it is. A little backspin. Does it split the uprights? It does. 7-0. University City leads Southwest El Centro. 11:03 to play here in the first. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. You're watching UC football on the SD Prep Insider TV network. All right, ready for the ensuing kickoff here after a 49-yard touchdown, courtesy of Samuel Cooper IV to Caden Dawson. Two juniors hooking up right there for 6. And now Southwest El Centro, who saw an interception on the ensuing drive, has some work to do. Another look for the onside. They were ready for it, and the Eagles will recover. That was Aiden Salazar, the Southwest kicker, on the hands team right there. Maybe trying to make a play for wide receiver for the Eagles with the way he recovered that onside kick. And favorable field position here for Southwest El Centro. The gold helmets beaming off the stanchion lights. And just a lovely evening here in north central San Diego, right on the coast. Here's a handoff that goes for a loss of 1 on the play. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Dawson on the tackle. And for the Eagles, back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 from the 49. The clock winds on here, as the fans continue to file in. Absolutely packed house here on the home side. The band in the stands. How good does this feel? Here's Jungers with the handoff on the strong side. Gain of 2 on the play sets up a 3rd and 8. And now the question becomes for Southwest, if you're already recognizing that the UC pressure may be too much for your offensive line to handle, how tight is the leash here in sitting in the pocket and throwing it? Eventually, you might have to consider getting an extra blocker out there and just rolling out. Here comes the pressure. Jungers on the release, and it's almost picked off right through the hands of Garrett King, the senior safety, and it drops for 4th and 8. That should bring out the punting squad. So now the punting squad here for Southwest El Centro. This will not be their last trip out to the west side of San Diego County. They'll be back out in this direction in 2 weeks at Santa Fe Christian. But next week hosting Kofa from Yuma, Arizona, as the punt drops inside the 10. Taken by Ikeke Bell. Bell breaking loose. Bell with 2 men to beat, gets a block, towing the sideline. He stays in bounds, and Bell with a 90-yard touchdown. A 49-yard touchdown and a 90-yard touchdown. University City up 13-0 here, 9:16 to play in the first quarter, pending the extra point. And here comes Elizabeth Dempsey. Splits the uprights. Dempsey didn't hit one in the opening week against Fallbrook. Since then, she has been great. And we'll step aside for a quick timeout. 14-0, punt return. Ikeku Bell, touchdown UC. Back here at UC, just off Genesee Avenue in the UC San Diego area. And the Centurions pouring it on Southwest El Centro. A 90-yard touchdown by Ikeku Bell. The icing on the first two offensive opportunities for the Centurions here in the first quarter. And we'll see if they go for the onside. This time, a fumble, but it is out of bounds, and that will go to Southwest El Centro. The Eagles maintain possession here. The initial touch was by the kicker, Aiden Salazar, who recovered the previous onside kickoff attempt by UC. And do I see an offset eye coming? A little bit of extra protection? Do the Eagles take my recommendation to get some extra protection for their quarterback? Wow, I feel like an offensive coordinator right there. Jungers hands it off. It goes for about 5 on the play. They're going to give him only a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 from the 45 for the Eagles. I mentioned the next 2 games for this team, hosting an Arizona school and then coming back out to play Santa Fe Christian, a rejuvenated program up in the north part of San Diego as a run goes for no gain, make it 3rd and 7. Ironically, that's not the furthest that Southwest El Centro has to travel. The Eagles will head to Lakin, Kansas. They'll take on Lakin High School. Calexico on that schedule. Palo Verde. Central and Imperial all in league play for the Eagles. As the extra protection continues to show itself on the right side, it's Carlos Salcedo. Senior middle linebacker, 5'9", to provide extra protection on the strong side here for Jungers. Protection breaks. Junger in trouble. Looking to evade. He throws it into a very dangerous spot, and it drops for an incompletion. That's the 2nd time that Garrett King has had a potential interception slip through his fingertips. And with 7:58 to play here in the first, it's 4th and 7 for the Eagles. So ready on the punt. Dual returners. I see Aiden Lockett and Ikeku Bell. Bell just had that 90-yard touchdown return on the previous one. This punt will not go to him. It'll go straight out of bounds. And we'll see where the official spot is. It's definitely within the 35, maybe to the 40, and they're going to call it at the 36-ish. 35. They're going to go to the line. I like when we have refs who decide that the lines are there for a reason, and for some reason you get referees who will place balls like in between hash marks and in weird spots on the sidelines rather, but these refs have it figured out right now. 14-0, 7:54 to go, and well, the last time we saw Samuel Cooper IV, it was with 11:02 to go in this quarter. What felt like ages ago, but was really only 4 minutes of game time. And he comes out here in a spread offense. The star running back. Danian Lawrence out to his left. Man in motion. In Bell. It's handed off here. No, it's going to be kept by Cooper on the option, and he beats it out for a gain of 10 on the play to move the sticks here for a first down. And that is probably the most dangerous aspect here for Cooper. I liken him to Josh Allen with the ability to unload the football, but also the spurt ability to evade the pocket collapsing or really keep it with the resiliency and the agility to beat the defenders to the spot. First and 10. This time Lawrence. And he gets wrapped up but won't go down. And finally, it takes 6 Eagles. How many Eagles does it take to take down LaDainian Lawrence? That should be the new cliche. Big gain on the run right there all the way into opponent territory to the 45. First and 10 from the 35. And now Cooper under center in the single back. 3-step drop. Pocket collapses. Has to get rid of it. There's Dawson out wide. Dawson at the 10. Dawson will stride into the end zone. Touchdown, Centurions. A 35-yard touchdown for Caden Dawson to complement the previous touchdown. That was 49 yards. And out comes Elizabeth Dempsey. And whistle's blown. There's going to be a false start here on UC. That should move it back. I'll tell you what, on a personal level, I called on a selfish level, called 3 volleyball matches yesterday, 2 this morning, and I have 4 tomorrow. And for some reason, UC wants me to lose my voice with all the touchdowns that they're going to score because right now it's getting a little scratchy. 6:54 to play here in the first quarter. It's 20-0 pending the extra point. It's just tough sledding here for Southwest. But truthfully, the only way to get better is to play really good opponents. And an opportunity for a blocked extra point, but this time it sails left. And we will keep it at 20-0. We'll step aside for a quick break. 6:54 to go here in the first. UC pouring it on in the early going. All right, back here inside the press box, Jonathan Rifkind with you. Special thanks to our entire crew for making this possible. Let's give a big internet hand to Nathan Roselle, not only the, I would call him the associate head coach. It says assistant head coach, but this guy is a trusted sidekick here for Paul Lawrence, and he's really made all the graphics that you see online, the broadcast that we have going, he's made all of this possible. So special thanks to Nate for getting us going here on a beautiful Friday evening in University City. The Centurions up 20-0, 90-yard touchdown punt return, a 49-yard touchdown reception, and a 35-yard touchdown reception amount to the 3 scores. And now an onside kick. Extra hands ready to go. And is this one recovered? No, Aiden Lockett just dove right over it. That ball goes out of play, and at the 49-yard line is where the Eagles will begin their drive. All right, as they set things up on the field, it's 1st and 10 from the 48. Logan Junger's back out there. He's thrown an interception, and they've gone 3 and out the other 3 drives. Can the Eagles muster up some energy here? Here's a handoff, bouncing out left. A hole opens up through the 40 down to the 33-yard line. 15-yard run, the longest play of the day for Southwest El Centro, and the Eagles finally move the chains, their first down here of the evening. And they're going to give it an extra yard, so 18 yards on the run. Now with Stutter out from left to right, and that's about it. Maybe a courtesy gain of 1 on the play before the tackle comes on in. .6:12 and counting here. 2nd and 9 from the 31. The Eagles progressing here into Centurion territory. Blitz coming. Deep throw, looking out right. It's dangerous, and it's picked off by Bell. And was Bell down? No. The Eagles thought that he may have hit the ground. He didn't. He was not touched, and he'll return it all the way towards the 35. Ikeku Bell, a 90-yard touchdown and an interception here in the first quarter. We still have 5:50 to play, and UC in possession of the football. So we've seen a 49-yard touchdown and a 35-yard touchdown from the Centurion offense. We'll see here what's drawn up. 5 wide, 3 on the weak side here. 2 stacked out to the right of Cooper the fourth. Defense showing a 3-4 middle linebacker, drops back. Cooper wanted the throw, trying to evade trouble, stuttering out left. Now has some space to maneuver. Out across the 50, picks up a block. And Cooper's out across the 40 at the 39-yard line. .27-yard run for Sam Cooper the fourth. That was a 4 verts. He was just looking to air it out deep, but the pocket collapsed. He was in trouble, using that versatility I talked about earlier to break out for a big run. 1st and 10 from the 36. 5:30 to play here in the first quarter. Shotgun here for Cooper, looking out right. Halfback screen to Lawrence. Has some space out to the left side, stumbles and dives, but gets the first down and some extra change. Out across the 25, mark him down at the 22-yard line. Gain of 14 on the halfback screen. And Lawrence continuing to show his dynamicism out of the backfield. A pass catcher as well as a dynamic runner. Tore it up for the Point Loma Pointers prior to joining University City. First and 10 from the 22. 5:10 to play here. And smoke coming over the field from the Snack Shack. Always a cool feature here at the football games. Here's a toss out right. And I'll go for a gain of 7, call it 8 on the play. Second and 2 after the 8-yard pitch out right. And the Centurions now lining up in the single back. Actually, they have they're going to scramble it out back into the 5 wide set. Get 4 out to the weak side here for Cooper. Looking out left. Whistles blown, flags are thrown, and we will have a false start, I would assume, is the call here on the offense. Somebody jumped. And timeout, Centurions. Coach Lawrence wants to talk to his quarterback. And we'll step aside for a timeout as well. 4:23 to play here in the opening quarter. University City 20-0. They have a 2nd and 2 from the 14th when we return in a moment. All right, welcome back here to University City. Centurions with a 2nd and 7 after the false start. Up 20-0 at the 19-yard line. Fans continuing to receive reasons to continue cheering in jubilation as the offense with the scramble here. 5 wide for Cooper. 2nd and 7 from the 19. Looking out left. Pocket collapsing, and he'll be sacked. Finally, the Eagles get to him, albeit after 4 tries. And that'll drop him for a loss of 2 on the play and set up a loss of 5 on the play, set up a 3rd and 12. In the shotgun, Cooper. This time gets some protection, has some time, has a man, and it's in for a touchdown. Troy Bassler, the junior, on the receiving end of the 24-yard touchdown. UC up 26-0. Cue up the replay for you here. Just a nice 3-step drop. Finally, some protection for Cooper outright. And just a beautiful slant up the seam for the touchdown. And now some push-ups. That gives me a little bit of nostalgia for my Oregon Duck. After every Oregon touchdown, he would do the points on the board. And how about the representation here? As the ROTC unit does it on the UC sideline. Extra point sales left. 26-0. The score remains. We will step aside for a quick break. You're watching UC taking on Southwest El Centro on the SD Prep Insider Television Network. Kickoff in a moment. All right, ready to go here. 3:38 to play in the first quarter, 26-0. Remember, the rule typically is if it's a 40-point lead going into the fourth is when the running clock would be initiated. But both teams can agree prior to if the officiating staff offers them the opportunity. Crazier things have happened, though, folks. The Eagles did get a few first downs on their previous drive, and here comes the onside opportunity. This one elevated out of play, free kick out of bounds. We'll bring the spot foul here. And now Jungers slowly striding back out there, talking with his offensive line. Derek Menken, the senior tight end, the team captain on the offensive line as well. He's been the one providing the extra protection up front in the offset eye, or in that pistol that they run. And we'll see here, as we see more of a jumbo look as everybody's bunched in out of the pistol, if Jungers can get something going offensively. He has a stack out to his left and two tight ends to his right. It's a handoff to the right. UC sniffs it out, and it goes for no gain. 2nd and 10. 3:07 and counting here in the first quarter. And the Eagles trying to move forward. Here's Jungers out of the three-step drop. Looking right, has a man, it's caught, but an absolute barrel of a tackle. Give it a gain of 5 on the play, on the receiving end of both the football and the tackles. Nate Smith Jr., the senior wide receiver, 5'11", 180 pounds, leads the team. 6 receptions for 107 yards on the season. Give him reception number 5. And he's going to feel that one tomorrow. 2:20 to play here in the first quarter. 3rd and 6. Jungers gets his first completed pass to one of his own teammates. He does have an interception here tonight. Has some space, has some time. Sidearm throw is complete. Out wide across the 40. It's good for a first down and some change. Completion goes to Carlos Romo. And that's a 1st and 10. Ball up at the 37. First and 10 for Jungers. $1:35 to play here in the first. It's a handoff bouncing out right now to the left. And through the A-gap. That'll be a gain of about 4, maybe 5 on the play. And actually, no, the referee just took a major step to the right, so they're only going to give him a gain of 3. 2nd and 7. Second and 7 from the 34. 26-0, a minute to play here in the first quarter. Shotgun here, spread out right for Jungers. Has a man up the middle. This is caught by his trusty tight end, but a flag is thrown in the backfield. Will this be negated by holding? Flag came a little bit late, maybe some contact. As we await the official word here. Clock stops, 50 seconds on the dot. Personal foul? No, it's going to be a roughing the passer on University City. Move the chains. Fresh set of downs here and 15 free yards for the Eagles. If that flag felt just a little bit late for it to be a holding call, but I did not see the contact the referee was referring to, but that's because my eyes were up the field. And that will move the Eagles into the red zone, the first red zone opportunity now for Southwest, and Jungers out in the shotgun. They decided to evade the extra blocking strategy for the time being and go for quicker releases. Always a good skill to work on as a quarterback. 1st and 10 from the 15. Pocket collapses. It's a lob and incomplete. Just over the outstretched arm of Troy Granfers. Playing free safety out there in the middle defense. 2nd and 10 from the 15. .25 seconds to play here in the first. There's a handoff out going left. 2 black jerseys in the backfield. And it goes for no gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Oh, maybe a loss of 1 even. And we'll call it 3rd and 11. From the 16-yard line. University City, as I mentioned, opened up at Fallbrook, 148-7, beat Del Norte 55-44. At Bishop's next week, and then the long road trip up into Riverside County, or San Bernardino County, and Yucaipa, as a timeout will be called on the field. Or actually, no, the quarter's over. All right, so we will take a quick quarter break here. 26-0, UC scores big in the opening quarter. Eagles will change sides. It'll be third and 11 from the 16 when we return here in a moment. Third and 11 as we begin the second quarter here. Welcome back to University City High School up in north central San Diego. Beautiful evening as the sun is fully set. The floodlights illuminate the gridiron overhead. And the Eagles out of Southwest El Centro at Imperial Valley League at third and 11 in their first red zone opportunity. Here's a handoff, bouncing out ISO to the left. And it goes for no gain on the play. So on third and 11 in the red zone, the Eagles, with the recognition that University City was likely going to attempt a blitz, didn't want to drop their quarterback at all. But instead, they go for a loss on the run anyways. 4th and 12 from the 17 now. And here's Jungers. Looking deep to the end zone. Intercepted. Aiden Lockett, give him his second. Aiden Lockett with a beautiful pick. Pocket collapses. Junger has to get rid of it, but it's in triple coverage. And Lockett given his second of the evening. And UC continuing to pour it on here as they will start now after the touchback at the 20. Here's Cooper the fourth. He already has a 49-yard touchdown pass. Wants an 80, but instead, the pocket's going to collapse. He's going to take the A-gap all the way up, spin out of trouble, out across the 40, out to the 50. Nobody's going to touch him. Call it an 80-yard touchdown for Sam Cooper the fourth. Oh, wow. So elusive. Sam Cooper the fourth would not be denied, and there's an Eagle down injured on the field. All the way back at the 45-yard line. Jonah Estrada, the sophomore wide receiver, we sure hope he's okay. Man, I hope that these military folks on the sidelines doing push-ups, I hope they're ready to break their personal records tonight, because with the way this game's trending, there's going to be a lot more push-ups to be had. 32-0, 10:58 to play, and an 80-yard touchdown run by Sam Cooper the fourth to boot. He had one in the opener against Fallbrook as well. Extra point is blocked, and in high school it is a dead ball. And so UC will get the ball, we'll boot this one away after the touchdown, which means we will step aside for a break. 32-0, 10:58 to go here in the second quarter. Back in a moment from UC High. Back here, 10:58 to go in the second quarter. UC pouring it on, an 80-yard touchdown by Sam Cooper IV, spun out of danger and just turned on the afterburners. And we will see here if UC goes for the onside kick, this time going the other way with it. This one a little skittish. Eagles wisely let it go out of play. So the Eagles, who had a red zone opportunity in their previous drive, on 4th and 12 from the 17-yard line, went for it. Logan Jungers threw it into the end zone where Aiden Lockett was waiting for it for the interception, and immediately on the next play, an 80-yard touchdown run by Sam Cooper IV. That's two interceptions by Aiden Lockett. There were also two that slipped the hands of Garrett King on the defense for UC. And the Centurions up as the Eagles offense back on the gridiron. Back with the extra tight end out left for some extra protection. Here's a run. And it goes for no gain. Line collapses. Second and 10 from the 50. $10:18 to play here as Southwest in no rush to snap the football. It's another run. And it goes for a loss on the play. Nope, they'll give forward progress for no gain. 3rd and 10 from the 50. Well, football has been quite a spectacle throughout San Diego County over the handful of weeks. We've seen upsets. We've seen some really great wins throughout the county. But right now, it really looks like it's Carlsbad and Mission Hills to lose. I know that we're all on the Cathedral bandwagon. They're also very good, but Lincoln is up there. Helix is up there. Nobody should be sleeping on this UC team. I don't want to leave anybody off, and I'm going to, but, I mean, San Diego County is chock full of great talent. Here is a throw and an interception by Bell. Out across the 30, he rips it away. A 90-yard touchdown on a punt return for Keku Bell. Give him an interception as well. Looking at the replay here, out wide. It was actually just a comeback route. Bell, with the early leap, though, jumped it and was able to get UC the football back. 3 interceptions now for Logan Jungers. First and 10 for Cooper. Man in motion. This time it's a handoff up the middle, some space, and out across the 50. Big run here. Goes for 24 yards to the 46-yard line. Falon Sullivan, the running back right now, providing extra protection as there's a pass out to the left. It's Aiden Lockett on the reception. He gets spun out. And it's right at the sticks. The mark will determine whether or not this is a first down, and they're going to move the chain. So a 10-yard reception by Aiden Lockett, and UC continues to roll here. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. 8:30 to play here in the second quarter. And in motion, it's a jet sweep from left to right. Goes Drayden Garner. Able to loop around for a gain of 2 on the play. Garner, the freshman, getting an early touch for UC here in this one. That goes for his first rush on the season. And I expect to see a handful of newer faces for UC, or younger faces rather, getting in on the action here as we progress in this game. First half winding down, 7:40 to play. 2nd and 8 from the 34 for the offense and shotgun on the spread. Man in motion. It's a handoff to Lawrence up the middle, turning on the Jets. This guy is explosive out of the backfield as he crosses the first down line, gets some extra change down at the 21-yard line for a gain of 13 on the play. Seven minutes to go. Cooper the fourth getting a call from his head coach, Paul Lawrence. 7:10 on the clock, actually. Didn't mean to mislead you there. Looking deep out wide, a fade to the end zone. He has a man. It's caught. Touchdown. Troy Bassler. UC strikes again, a 21-yard touchdown. 38-0 pending the extra point. And just a dime on the right hash. Cooper locks eyes the entire way. There was 2 defensive backs out there, but Bassler beats them both to the spot for the UC touchdown. Elizabeth Dempsey to kick. And it's good. 39-0. Centurions up over the Eagles. 7:02 to play here. We'll return from UC in a moment. $39-0 after a 21-yard touchdown to Troy Bassler, courtesy of Sam Cooper the fourth. 3 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. Kate Gubel has a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown. And with 7:02 to go here in the game, or rather in the half, wow. 39-0. Eagles trail. So on the kick return, ball goes all the way back at the 2. And the onside kick goes to University City. A miscommunication by the Eagles. And it'll be 1st and goal from the 4 for the Centurions. That is definitely one of the most egregious of the miscues that I've seen at the high school level in quite some time. First and goal from the 4. 7 minutes to play here. If UC scores, they'll score 2 touchdowns in 6 seconds. Here's Cooper. High snap, hands it off to Lawrence. Running through, is he in? Yes, touchdown UC. 45-0 Centurions. 6:57 to play. And the marching band continues to play on. This time, it's a 4-yard touchdown run by LaDainian Lawrence. First touchdown on the day for Lawrence, second rushing touchdown for UC. And Dempsey, who kicked it through on the previous extra point, high snap. It's faked around, rolling out right, receiver in the end zone, and it's good on the 2. Troy Bassler on the receiving end of the throw. 45-0 University City. Oh, excuse me, 47-0 University City. And we will step aside for a quick break. .657 to go here. UC up 47-0 over Southwest El Centro. And it has been quite a day for Sam Cooper. The 3 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. It's going to be 4 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. Punt return for a touchdown for Keku Bell. 2 interceptions for Aiden Lockett. Touchdown for LaDainian Lawrence. And we still have 6:57 to go here in the first half. It's time a lob. Well out of play. Caught on the near sideline, though, pretty nicely by one of the team assistants for UC. Ball spotted at the 40, and the Eagles will start going left to right. It's been tough sledding so far. 3 total interceptions thrown by Logan Jungers. 4 spread them out, uneven sides. Defense showing 4 on the rush. Ball is tipped on the throw, but still complete out across the 45. And that's the second completion on the day for Jungers to Carlos Romo. Jungers looks out left, incomplete, but some contact was made out there in the slot. And now we have an Eagle down as we will step aside for an injury timeout. 6:16 to play here in the second quarter. It's 47-0. 3rd and 3 when we return here in a moment at University City. All right, ready to go. Back here out of the injury timeout. We hope the injured Eagle is okay. It's 3rd and 3 from the 47, and a run straight up the chute. Goes for a gain of 5 on the play and moves the sticks. The 3rd first down of the afternoon turned into evening for the Eagles. 6 minutes to play here in the second quarter. It's a 1st and 10, trailing 47-0. By the way, stick around at halftime. We will have a special presentation for you. I don't want to spoil the fun, but a Hall of Famer from this very high school and my alma mater, Oregon, will be awarded with a special presentation. And right there, Caden Dawson with a special presentation of his own. It's a sack in the backfield. Jungers drop for a big loss on that one. It's going to be 2nd and real long. All the way back to the 45 in Eagle territory. Dawson picks up sack number 2 here on his day. 2nd and 17. Jungers in the spread shotgun. Handoff, bouncing from right to left, makes a tackler miss. Gain of 2, though, after the fact. 3rd and 15 coming up. Eagles letting the clock roll on. We might have a running clock going throughout the second half. Keep you updated on that one when I get word. Here's Jungers rolling out left. Dawson chasing him down, but he gets shoestrung tackled instead. And Rukosaka gets the sack. 4th and 19. And here comes the punt. Short, drops short of the 40, goes out of play. And the Centurions will take over on offense with 3:41 to go here. From the 43-yard line. We'll return here at UC in a moment. 3:30 to go. 54-0 after Sam Cooper, the fourth, was on the receiving end of a touchdown. Give him 4 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. A punt and a kick return away from hitting for the cycle. And a rare sight at the high school level to see quarterbacks utilized in such dynamic ways. I believe that there was a bunch of excessive celebration penalties that will bring this ball all the way back to the 20-yard line. So if an onside does ensue and UC does not recover, which they've only recovered one and it wasn't even an intended onside kick, then the Cubs will have prime field position here. Still plenty of time to try and get into the end zone. This one is not an onside kick. It goes well over the head, out inside the 20. That's where it's taken. Now to the 30. Aaron Fruge coming in on the stop. And it will be 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line after the 11-yard kick return. It's actually a very good kickoff for UC. $54-0. And the Cubs backed up all the way to their own 30 after excessive celebration. Marked the kick all the way back on the UC 20. Here's the handoff bouncing out left. Beats one would-be tackler out across the 35. Dropped at the 36-yard line. A gain of 6 on the handoff. Second and 3 handoff rather. Goes for a gain on the play of 6. Fifth first down here of the evening for the Cubs as they continue to let the clock roll on. 2:40 and counting here in the second quarter. 54-0. Centurions up. Here's Jungers in the shotgun. Another handoff out left. UC prepared for it, and it goes for a loss of 1 on the play. Second and 11. Clock under 2 minutes now. Second and 10. From the pistol. It's a scramble after the miscommunication. Jungers has to throw it away, but it's intercepted at the 50. Running backwards is Troy Bassler again, trying to fight off a tackler. That is Drayden Garner on the interception. My mistake. I only saw the one on the back of his jersey. But nonetheless, UC gets their 4th interception of the first half. And with $1:42 to play, they'll retain possession of the football on their own 44-yard line. Gardner, the freshman, another pickoff right there. Also had a run on a jet sweep earlier. And UC with another opportunity to get into the half, up big. Cooper, the fourth, back out there. Last time we saw him, he was on the receiving end of a touchdown pass out of the Wildcat. Man on the move is Bell. And the defense was ready for the handoff to Lawrence. He stays up somehow, but this time wrapped up as a flag flies. Dropped back at the 38-yard line. That would be a big loss on the play of about 6. But we'll see what the flag is. It came out of the secondary. And I'm seeing an offensive hold. And that will be accepted. 15 yards from the spot here in high school. And as you see, didn't even realize they got the holding call. That ball will be brought back all the way to the 30. Line to gain is the 46 in opponent territory. 1st and 24 now. Cooper the 4th, 4 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground, 1 receiving. In the shotgun. Option to Lawrence, finds a hole up the middle, trying to get the chunks of yards back. He's out across the 40, stays up to the 45 before he's finally taken down. It takes a village to take down Lawrence. He gets all the way to the 46-yard line, a gain of 16 on the play. 1 minute to go here, and we'll see if they unleash the cannon that is Sam Cooper the 4th's arm, or if they just allow this half to run out. As Lawrence is going to hobble off the field, that is not a good sign for UC. And as they check on him, Brendan Goldstein, the sophomore running back, will take his place. It's a handoff to Goldstein, out bouncing to the right, picks up a block, friendly fire by the Cubs as he gets a 12-yard run. Or by the Eagles, excuse me. Sebastian Espinoza got lit up by one of his own teammates going for the tackle, and with under 30 seconds to play now, 54-0 our score. It's a 1st and 10 in the opponent's 44-yard line. And LaDainian Lawrence on the near sideline, taking 4 bodies to get him to the bench. We sure hope he's okay. Here's a handoff. Going out right, Brendan Goldstein. Gain of 13 on the play as the clock runs out and we hit half. 54-0. University City leads. We will step aside for a brief break. Don't go anywhere, though. We have a very special halftime presentation for you. Don't want to miss that. 54-0 into the half. Back for more in a moment. You're watching UC versus Southwest El Centro right here on the Prep Insider San Diego Television Network. Welcome back here to University City High School as we have a very special presentation for you down on the field. A legend here at University City will be inaugurated, the first ever Hall of Famer here for University City. His name is Matt Brock. Matt Brock was a four-year starter at the University of Oregon. He graduated from University City back in 1984. At University of Oregon, he was a dominant player in the Pac-10 conference. He was a recipient of the Pac-10, one of the successors of the year. He was drafted by the Green Bay Packers in the third round, 58th overall. He was an all-Pac-10 first-teamer. In 1990, 1991, and 1992, he led the Green Bay Packers in tackles each of those years. In 1990, he tied for the second most sacks for the Green Bay Packers. His father, Clyde Brock, played in the NFL for the Cowboys, the 49ers. He also played in the Canadian Football League, where he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2020. Matt Brock is one of the most celebrated players in University City history, getting an incredibly prestigious honor here this evening. And the first ever inauguration into the University City Hall of Fame. Matt Brock, an inspiration to high school athletes everywhere. And number 90 will be up in the rafters forever here at Centurion Field. Matt Brock, inducted into the Hall of Fame here at University City, watching his alma mater tear it up on the gridiron, 54-0 at the half. We'll step aside, 10 minutes to go. We'll be back for the second half in a moment. You're watching UC football, taking on Southwest El Centro on the SD Prep Insider TV network.
Check. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Paul Lawrence for making this happen, and really Coach Nate Roselle for finding me. I don't have any social media presence, so it's difficult to find me. But, you know, growing up in University City, being one of the first classes to go through, and accomplishing what I did, it really all started right here with the support of the community and some fantastic coaches. And I think this could be the beginning of something great really happening here. It all starts with community and support, and really paying attention to the young athletes and giving them every advantage that you have. So thank you very much, and I'm very honored. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Brock. All right, fans, now it's time for the race of the century. Directing your attention to the
We have a halftime race, and I would be remiss if I did not call this one. Mr. Centurion taking on Miss Centurion here at UC, and we are ready to go. 3, 2, 1, go! And it looks like Miss Centurion jumped off sides, but no whistle is called. But she slips, and Mr. Centurion takes a 5-yard lead. Will he be caught? Yes, he will. And now it is a 2-horse race out across the 30 to the 20. There she goes to the 10. Touchdown. And Miss Centurion with the win. We love the halftime fun here at UC. Back in 7 minutes for the second half. Ready to go here for the second half of action. Welcome back to University City High School. The Centurions currently up over the Eagles of Southwest El Centro 54-0. As we begin the second half of play. Saw a very nice halftime presentation for the inaugural induction of the first Hall of Famer. And how about Nate Roselle reaching out, finding and securing the opportunity here for Matt Brock to be inducted into the UC Hall of Fame. And we'll see here if a running clock is ensued as we hit the 150 point prior to the half ending. UC is back out there ready to go to receive the second half kickoff, and now here comes the Eagles. And now the Eagles will be ready to go on the kickoff. We'll see here if they respond with an onside kick of their own. We saw a few for UC, and this is the first kickoff for Southwest. They did not have any kickoffs in the first half. Leguseg up on the board. It'll be Aiden Salazar, the sophomore kicker, who also has a onside kick attempt secured for the Eagles when UC went for the look. And now ready to go. Second half underway here. We'll see if the running clock ensues as the second half kickoff is taken out near the 10. Wayne Keegan, the wide receiver, just a sophomore at 5'10", 170, taking it out towards the 50. See where the official spot is. It looks to be towards the 45, actually, and that's where the Centurions will begin their first offensive possession of the second half. They'll be at Bishops next week at La Jolla High School. And then up to the southern section they go at Yucaipa for what is supposed to be the most daunting match on the schedule. Patrick Henry has looked good, though. They'll be back home against San Diego High School, the Cavers. Morris also has been looking pretty sound offensively. That, the third to last game at Coronado, will be the finale for UC. Here's a handoff for Phelan Sullivan going from left to right out across the 50. Bounces out to the 46-yard line. That's a 9-yard run. Make it 2nd and 1 now from the 44, rather the 46 in opponent territory. LaDainian Lawrence has been ruled out for the rest of this one. We saw him go down towards the end of the second quarter, but we're told he'll be okay. No reason to risk it, though, as he's sitting on the bench cheering on his fellow teammates. Here's Cooper the fourth. Step back, looking for the throw out right. He has Dawson wide open across the 40. Dodges one tackler, and he swung down out near the 30. Give him a gain of 16 on the play, make it 17. And UC continues to roll on. Clock stops at 11:02, so no running clock here in the third. We will have a running clock, though, into the fourth, no matter what. Shotgun here. Phelan Sullivan, the junior. 5'10", 210, out to the left in the shotgun. Now up the middle, pass is caught out across the 20, inside the 15. Goes Troy Bassler, get him his third reception here of the evening. $16 yards on the pitch and catch. Just a little seam route up the middle. Clock winds on. 10:30 to play here in the third. Opening minute and a half already. Nearing the longest drive for UC on the game. That's how quick they've been to score offensively. Here's Cooper. In motion, goes Bell. It's a handoff to Sullivan. Looking out left, picks up a block, stays on his feet through trouble. And he fights through. Is he in across the goal line? He is. Touchdown UC on the 13-yard rush by Phelan Sullivan. Not easy for Sullivan. And just a beautiful, easy, weak side run for 6 pending the extra point here, 60-0. And the extra point is good. 61-0. Centurions roll on here. 10:04 to play in the third quarter. We'll step aside for a quick break. $61-0 as we return here at University City High School. Centurions continue to pour it on after a 17-yard run from Sullivan. Phelan Sullivan picks up his first touchdown of the season, getting his first carries of the season. And on the kickoff, it bounces now inside the 10, chasing it down. Sebastian Espinoza trying to evade traffic through the 20. He gets tackled out across the 21 by Aiden Lockett, who just lowered the shoulder. So a dangerous return, but one that had to be had. And that leads to a 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 21-yard line. Logan Jungers back out there. Does have 4 interceptions on the day, including 1 in the red zone. Hands it off here. Hole opens up, and the run goes for about 6 on the play. 2nd and 4. Estevan McDonough takes another handoff, bouncing out right, riding a tackler through the line to gain out across the 35 to the 38-yard line. Gain of 11 on the run. That is the 5th first down of the game here for the Eagles. 9:19 and counting. They are just looking to creep on this clock. Coach Dan Jungers out on the far sideline. Calling the shots here. His son at the helm. Three wide, an extra blocker. Here's a handoff. This one goes to Anthony Chavez, bouncing out right. He'll be tackled for a loss of 2 on the play. Chavez, the junior, typically a wide receiver, but a hybrid, can be used out of the backfield as well, as he'll be taken off for Estevan McDonough. 2nd and 12 from the 36 for the Eagles. Clock continues to wind down now. 8:20 to play here in the third. Jungers in the shotgun, looks out right, has a receiver open out across the 40. He's finally taken down at the 44. Nate Smith Jr., his favorite target, getting his 2nd reception of the evening. Goes for a gain of 9 on the play. Ball at the 44-yard line. It's up a 3rd and 4. Donna bouncing out left. He is finding some success right now up the A-gap. Avoiding a couple of would-be tacklers and moving the chains for another first down here for the Eagles. Pocket collapsing, looking down deep. It's a dangerous pass, and it's incomplete. Derek Mankin, the senior tight end, the intended target up the middle. Better long than short on that one as the UC defensive backs were looming in the area at 2nd and 10 from the 50. And we see a Centurion down on the ground. It's Garrett King, so we will step aside for an injury timeout as well. 61-0, 7:10 to play here in the third. Centurions up over the Eagles of Southwest EC. Back for more in a moment. Back here at Centurion Field at University City High School. Garrett King being walked off under his own power, though. That looks good. We're going to get some score updates for you, but how about Maranatha Christian in the Nick Novak era picking up his first win for Maranatha? They beat Claremont 20-6, and the former NFL kicker picking up his first win as a high school head coach at Maranatha Christian. Some other scores around the league as 2nd and 10 from the 50 set up here for Logan Jungers. Hands it off, and McDonough goes the opposite direction. But was the exchange fumbled? It was. And the ball will go back to the Centurions. And now the field will flip back over. West Hills up over Olympian 38-12. Imperial up over Cibola 38-6. Granite Hills up over Madison. La Habra currently beating Eastlake. That's a La Habra team that got whooped last week by Bishop Amat. Eastlake currently trailing 7-0. Central losing to Palm Desert 20-13 right now. 0-0 between Cathedral Catholic and Chaminade in the Holiday Bowl. Or excuse me, in the Holiday Bowl. in the Classic. Of course, Chaminade in the post-Jalen Henderson era, one of the most dominant teams in the southern section, beat San Clemente in the Division II championship a year ago. Here's a handoff running up the middle, out across the 40, or near the 40, down at the 42, a gain of 5 on the run. Lincoln and Mission Hills is a good one at 16-7 at halftime in that one. Grossmont losing to Warren out of Long Beach, California, 21-7. Poway pouring it on Ramona. This is a Ramona team that a little bit underperforming so far, 21-0 into the third. Carlsbad unleashing it on Lawndale as Jalen Sane continues to make a point here in San Diego that he might be the best quarterback. They're up 23-0 at half. And here's Newbegin rolling out right, gets rid of it. 3rd and 4 from the 41 for University City. Some more updates. Santana up over Mar Vista 27-20. That's a Mar Vista team that's rejuvenated. RBV up over rival Vista 21-0. Mount Carmel up over Valley Center 14-0. And Del Norte beating Classical Academy 27-0. Those are your scores. The biggest one, of course, to watch will be the Lincoln Mission Hills game. I'll keep you posted as that one progresses here into the Friday evening. Flag on the play will bring the ball back. Make it 2nd and 9 from the 46-yard line in opponent territory. The line to gain is the 37. So here's Maxim Newbegin, sophomore quarterback, getting some valuable playing time under center. Hands it off, and a mighty fine run up the middle goes for a big gain on the play. Aiden Salazar on the stop. Isaac Fawcett on the run. Moves the chains all the way up to the 32-yard line for a big gain on the play. 61-0, 5:50 to go here in the third. Undoubtedly a running clock as the second team, and then some in here for the UC offense. Newbegin calling the shots here out of the shotgun. He has trips to the right on the strong side. In the shotgun, it's a handoff. That one goes to Goldstein, and Brent Goldstein breaks away one tackle out near the 15. He's finally pushed out. Mark him down at the 19-yard line. Maybe an 18-yard line, rather, and a nice little gain right there. Continues to move the sticks now into the red zone for the Centurions. First and 10 from the 18. Newbegin in the shotgun to his right has Goldstein. Rolling out right, looking into the end zone, has a receiver. It's caught by Wayne Keegan. Touchdown, Centurions. (67-0) on the 18-yard pitch and catch. Newbegin picks up a touchdown pass on the season. No problem on that one. Looking out right for the touchdown. Here's Elizabeth Dempsey. Newbegin the holder, flags fly, and I believe a false start will be called. This is the fourth. Oh, no, offsides on the defense. So take that half the distance here and give Dempsey a bit of a closer look. So instead of the holding mark at the 10, it'll be at the 8. Newbegin to hold. Dempsey to attempt the extra point. It's up and it's through. 68-0. Centurions lead, 4:45 to play here. Courtesy of the big touchdown. Let's see it again. Looking out right, a beautiful play. And it's wide open. We're going to step aside for, oh no we won't. We're back. Just like that, the team's changed sides and moving way quicker than I am. 4:45 to play here. 68-0 is our score in the third quarter. And now I see Brendan Goldstein out there. He just had some words with Elizabeth Dempsey, and Dempsey will place this ball and boot it away. There is a man back, though. Estevan McDonough for Southwest El Centro. Though the hands team still up front, anticipating a short kick. Dempsey ready. Lobs it up. handled by Salazar. And at the 49-yard line in opponent territory is where the Eagles will begin their drive. 4:45 to go here in the third. 68-0. We need to get one of our interns here in the press box to get on the largest win in UC history, because I promise you we're nearing it. And here's Logan Jungers now. 3 receivers, has an extra blocker up front. McDonough in the backfield. Here's Estevan McDonough. Jukin left, now out right, breaking away. McDonough with some exit speed out inside the 20. He's tackled at the 15. On the chase down tackle came Drayden Gardner. But a big run, the largest play of the day. And Southwest El Centro back in the red zone for the second time here tonight. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Don, the ball carrier right there. Gets a gain of 3 on the play. 2nd and 7 from the 11 now. 4 minutes to play. The Eagles letting the clock trickle on. Last week I called a 4.5-hour game between Scripps Ranch and La Jolla. Tonight, a very different one. This is heading towards its second hour. We're almost through the third quarter. The Centurions have been in control from the onset. Run by McDonough, goes for a gain of 2 on the play. Handoff, McDonough bouncing out left, trying to evade the tacklers, and he's inside the 5, down at the 2-yard line. On 3rd and 5, he gets a 7-yard run, and the first and goal opportunity now for the team in white and gold. And Southwest now threatening, trying to get on the board for the first time, but not before a timeout is called by the Eagles. 3:11 to play here in the third, 68-0. UC leads. We'll step aside for a break. You're watching UC taking on Southwest El Centro on the Prep Insider SDTV network. All right, welcome back to UC, where the Eagles find themselves in a 1st and goal situation. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, trailing 68-0, looking to salvage some sort of offense here as we hit the latter half of this game. It's a handoff, and the big man rides it through for a touchdown. The senior tackle, Eduardo Perez, takes it 3 yards, and Southwest El Centro is on the board for the first time here tonight, and it comes with 3:08 to play in the quarter. And so the Eagles finally on the board here. And in discussion, we'll see if they go for two. It looks like Jungers will lead the offense back out there after the 3-yard touchdown run. And whistles blow as flags fly, perhaps taking a little too long on the offense. And there it is. UC up 68-6. In my recent memory, this is by far the biggest lead for University City over an opponent in quite some time. I know some friends of my colleague Christian Pedersen are watching the broadcast. Ask them. Tell Christian, call friends of Christian Pedersen. Do you know the all-time game lead win as a throw is in there at the back of the end zone? It's good for 2 as I got tongue-tied, but it doesn't matter. Offensive pass interference will negate it. Let me rephrase my previous request. Friends of Christian Pedersen, please ask him if, with his girth of knowledge here in the San Diego section, if he knows the largest UC victory. I think that's probably the most simplistic way for me to put it. And here's the call. It is on the offense. Offensive pass interference is called. And so a replay will be made because the 2-point conversion was successful. UC declines. That ball will go back all the way to the 23-yard line. So some recaps for you here in the game. The first 2 scores for University City came by way of a 45-yard or 49-yard touchdown from Sam Cooper IV to Caden Dawson, and then followed immediately up by a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown by Eden Lockett. We've seen 4 interceptions thrown by Jungers. And here on the 2-point try, it's an and goal from the 35, heaving it to the end zone into the middle. And it is almost caught and then bobbled in the back of the end zone. It would have been fantastic grab by his favorite target, Nate Smith Jr., but instead it remains 68-6. And we'll step aside for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. 3:08 to play here in the third. UC dominating right now over Southwest El Centro. And after the quick break, ready to go here. The Eagles get a salvageable offensive drive, and it really was a big run by Estevan McDonough, the senior running back, to set off the chain of events that eventually led to the touchdown, which was a 3-yard fullback dive. One of my favorite Madden plays to run. Also works in real life, as we saw a couple moments ago. But now trailing by 62, the Eagles looking to boot it away. Tandem back to return here for UC. And back towards the end zone. Garner with the bobble, corrals it at the 2, across the 10, picks up a block. Now looping around to the left along the hashes to the 20. And that's where he'll be stopped. Almost a dangerous bobble. He made something out of nothing. The return goes for 18 yards. 68-6, 2:53 to go here in the third. And once we hit the fourth, we will have a running clock for the remainder of the 12 minutes here in the match. The only stoppages would be for injuries and timeouts. And UC's substitutions back out there, most notably the quarterback. Now Maxim Newbegin, the sophomore at 6'3", huddling his team up. Threw a touchdown on the previous offensive drive. That was a 19-yarder looping out right. And we'll see if UC can respond once again, but this time with the Eagles on the board. Here's Newbegin in the shotgun. It's a little screen pass out, left complete, across the 20. Maybe a gain of 2 or 3 on the play. No reason to force anything here on either side. Now it's about the fundamentals, as now the clock winds down, 2:30 and counting. 2nd and 6 from the 24-yard line for the Centurions. This is a Centurion team, folks, that is incredibly well coached by Paul Lawrence, and the assistant staff does a great job. Apparently Tommy Morris is the quarterback's coach. And a timeout by the Centurions. I mean, the timeout on the broadcast. 2:22 to play, 68-6. Centurions up. We'll step aside for a break. Back for more in a moment. You're watching UC taking on Southwest El Centro, on the Prep Insider San Diego television network. All right, out of the timeout, 2:22 to play here in the third quarter, 68-6 UC with the fingerprints all over the gridiron here tonight. And Maxim Newbegin back under center in the pistol. This is a handoff up the middle. And Brendan Goldstein gets across the 30. Actually, no, he's about 2 yards shy, so give him a gain of 4 on the play. A 3rd and short is where UC stands. 3rd and 3 from their own 27. They have not gone 3 and out here today. They've scored on every single one of their offensive drives, minus the one that ended the first half. Here's a handoff, and it goes for a big run up the middle, out across the 40 to the 45-yard line. That's Samuel Harris, the ball carrier. Just a freshman. He is blazing quick. Big gain on the play. It was 3rd and 3 from the 27. That's a gain of 20 on the run. 1st and 10 now. $1:30 to play here in the third quarter. And UC taking their time on offense now. This is where the chemistry builds for the backups, as on the near sideline, Sam Cooper is still playing soft toss with Keiko Bell, who had a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown back in the first quarter. Newbegin in the shotgun on the spread. He has 2 out wide evenly on both sides. It's a screen pass complete on the near side to Isak Fawcett, but Fawcett is dropped for a loss of 1 on the play. One of the rare plays for UC that goes backwards here tonight. Sets up a 2nd and 11 from the 46. By the way, Patrick Henry lost to SFC tonight. Francis Parker, excuse me. I appreciate the correction here in the booth. When you have so many schools with multiple names, eventually they get jumbled in my brain. 25 seconds to go here in the third. 2nd and 11, screen pass out left. And a good wrap right there as Gardner trying to break loose, can't. Got no gain on the play, 3rd and 11. And we'll see here if UC just winds out the third quarter. And at 3rd and 11 from the 46, the teams will retreat back to their respective sidelines. And we will step aside for the quarter intermission. A running clock will greet us as we return. It's 3rd and 11 from the 46. 68-6 UC leads here as we head the fourth quarter. You're watching UC taking on Southwest El Centro on the SD Prep Insider TV network. 3rd and 11 as we hit the 4th quarter. Welcome back to University City High School. The Centurions have been up for every moment of this one from the onset. It got started by a 49-yard touchdown catch by Caden Dawson. Since then, the Centurions have yet to look back. And they are going for one of the most dominant performances in recent memory for a Centurion team, and they have quite a squad of skill players, as well as a rowdy defense that complements them, that is going to make UC very competitive as the season progresses. A fumbled handoff, ball is down, it's loose. The pile now ensues, and we will see where the recovery goes. It was a fumbled handoff on the jet sweep, looking for Drayden Gardner. Both teams crowding around the spot and the official, but it looks like there is a Southwest Eagle injured on the far side. Anthony Chavez being helped off, and he looks to be in a lot of pain. We have seen a handful of injuries here tonight, and we really hope that everybody can be okay. Wow, Chavez can't even walk off the sideline. He's going to be helped down, so we'll step aside for an injury timeout. 11:19 to go here in the game. 68-6, UC's winning. Chavez gets helped off. We hope he's okay. 11:13 is where the clock resumes counting down from. 68-6. It's 1st and 10 from the 38 here as Logan Jungers leads the offense out. It was a fumble recovery on the previous defensive possession for Southwest, and they'll regain the offense. That was the first turnover for University City. They forced 4 on their own end. Now Jungers out there in the shotgun. Defense in a 4-3 spread. It's a handoff to McDonough. Bouncing left up the middle now. Stays on his feet across the 30. And he's marked down at the 29-yard line. 9-yard run by Estevan McDonough. Sets up a 2nd and 1. McDonough's broken off for a few big runs here today. He's been a lone shining light in what has been a long evening for the El Centro offense. Here's 2nd and 1. McDonough again, bounces right now, cuts left up the seam. Pushing the pile to the 20 is where he'll be marked down. A gain of 9 on the play, and that moves the sticks. Ranford's on the stop. 10 minutes to play here in the game. Fans continuing to remain engaged by the cheerleaders on the sideline. 1st and 10 from the 20, 9:45 to play. Jungers with the handoff, McDonough with the run up the middle. Swerving out right to left through the A-gap. Taken down at the 16-yard line, a gain of 4 on the play. Nine minutes to go. McDonough gets the handoff on 2nd and 6 from the 16. This time, though, he goes nowhere. No gain on the run out left. The weak side ISO is what they like to call it. 3rd and 6. Going to get an update on that Lincoln Mission Hills game for you here in a moment. A lot of action going across the San Diego section. A couple of Southern section clashes as well here in San Diego. Of course, UC will get a taste of the Southern section themselves in a couple of weeks when they head up to Yucaipa. Lincoln up 16-7 midway through the 3rd quarter over Mission Hills. They went up 7-0 in the first. Mission Hills responded, then 9 points in the second for Lincoln has them up. Throw up the middle is intercepted out across the 15 to the 18-yard line. Granfers picks up the 4th interception of the day. Just elevates it after Jungers got caught looking right at Smith Jr. Everybody knew that's where he was going, and there was a capitalization right there defensively. 1st and 10 from the 17 for the UC offense, 7:30 to play. No doubt they'll have no problem just letting this clock drop after every snap. Seven minutes to play. Here's Newbegin handing it off. And a long run out across the 50 for Sam Harris, the freshman. Another long run. Some finals for you. San Clemente beat La Costa Canyon 13-6. That's a quality loss for LCC against one of the best Division I teams in the southern section. Of course, San Clemente got penalized for ineligible players a season ago and had to forego the championship. Carlsbad is up over Lawndale 30-0. That's a Lawndale team that plays in a very competitive conference with Lusinger, and Chaminade losing to Cathedral 21-10 at halftime. Madison up over Granite Hills. Wow, Madison up over Granite Hills 20-7. That's a Granite Hills team that was in many people's top 10. And finally, at the 6-minute mark, UC's offense is ready to go. 1st and 10 from the 48. Here's a handoff to Goldstein. Brendan Goldstein bouncing from left to right in between the hashes across the 40 is where he's dropped. Give him a gain of 11 on the run. It's 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line for UC. And Goldstein's been very productive out of the backfield here tonight. As we get for the 5:30 mark here on the running clock. First and 10 from the 37. Here's a keeper for Newbegin. Bouncing out left. He gets wrapped up and pushed out of play. Gets a gain of 9, maybe 10 on the run. Is it enough to move the chains? It is. 10-yard run by Max Newbegin on the quarterback keeper on the option. And the clock continues to wind down now at 4:40 and counting here in the 4th. Here's a handoff. Bell breaks away. Excuse me, not Bell. Harris breaks away for a run from left to right, and Sam Harris is into the end zone for a UC touchdown, 27-yard runner right there. And UC leads 74-6 late into the 4th. Clock continues to run. Remember, no stoppages here unless there's an injury or a timeout. Now the Army crew comes back out here. They have to do 74 of something. I guarantee you it's not going to be push-ups. And now they're going to bring out some students in the student section as well, as Elizabeth Dempsey comes on out to go for the extra point. 74 jumping jacks. For the folks on the sidelines, good luck. And no, they're going down for the push-ups. Are we going to see 74 push-ups? Nate doesn't think so. I have a little bit of faith, but if I tried 74 push-ups, I'd probably pass out after 10. Flags thrown across the field. And a false start on the offense. So they made it to like 11 and then gave up. So a metaphorical 74 there for our push-up-E's on the sideline. And the clock does stop momentarily. At the 3:57 mark. Dempsey to boot. On a line. And it's good for the extra point. 75-6. UC leads here. 3:57 to go here in the ball game. That drive went for 5 minutes. Went for 80 yards and a touchdown. Courtesy of all runs as well. And City looking to continue to dominate here on the schedule at Bishop's next week. Bishop's team that bounced back after a big opening 52-3 loss in the season opener to La Jolla. Then Yucaipa up in San Bernardino, just on the foothills of the Redlands Valley Mountains, where UC will be in 2 weeks before back home against San Diego on the 1st of October. They'll have San Diego, Morrison, Mission Bay at home in the final 3 home games. Season will end at Coronado. Coach Hines' squad rolling down there as well on the island. Kick drops inside the 5, and that's where it'll be taken by McDonough out across the 20, picks up a block, and he's down close to the 30. That's where they'll mark him, a 30-yard return by Estevan McDonough. We hit the 3:40 mark here in the game. UC up by 69 points. So here comes Logan Jungers, 5 interceptions on the day. Out in the shotgun, he has McDonough to his right. 3 minutes to play here in the game. 3-step drop. Looking up the middle, unleashes one. It's dangerous, and it's thrown incomplete. Troy Granfers, who had the interception on the previous defensive stop, pushed that one down to the ground. 2nd and 10 from the 30 for the Eagles. In the shotgun, Jungers, 4 spread out evenly. McDonough on the handoff, running out left. He is so explosive out of the backfield. Dives forward for the first down, give him 12 yards on the run. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line for the Eagles with 2 to play. I see a Gatorade being uncorked here on the near sideline, and I have a feeling I know what's coming. If you're Coach Paul Lawrence, you better get your raincoat ready, because I have a feeling that a cold shower is about to greet you. By the way, the run went for a nice little chunk of yards. 1st and 10, $1:20 to play here in the game. From the 44, rather the 49 in opponent territory. Here's a handoff. Chavez goes backwards. Gets dropped at the 49. Loss of 5 on the play. 2nd and 14 with under a minute to go here in the game. And now we're seeing some push-ups here on the sideline once again after they gave up. They're at 20. $30 now on the sideline for the push-uppers. They're still going. I think the over-under here is 50. I take the spread. I take the over-under of 50 here on the sideline as the snap is taken. It's going to be kept here by Jungers. Bouncing out to the right. Excuse me, that's... Oh, it is Jungers. Yep. Out across the 29-yard line with 18 seconds to go. That might be the last play here of the day. We'll see if the Cubs go for one more snap with 6 seconds to go. They have to do it now. 2, 1, and that is the final. A historical night here from University City High School. The Centurions down the Eagles of Southwest El Centro 75-6. The initial touchdown was a 49-yard reception by Caden Dawson, followed up by a 90-yard touchdown punt return by Aiden Lockett, and since then, by Lukaku Bell, and since then, the Centurions did not look back. Well, that's going to do it for us here on the broadcast. A special thanks for everybody who made our broadcast possible. Nate Roselle for getting us up and running. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, signing off. UC is 3-0 on the season. Southwest El Centro drops to 1-2. The next 2 weeks are road games for UC at Bishops and at Yucaipa. And for El Centro, they will host Kofa High School out of Yuma, Arizona next Saturday. For everybody who made our broadcast possible, my name is Jonathan Rifkin, signing off. Have a wonderful weekend. This has been a presentation of UC Football.